Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Wednesday evening, we'll be starting the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and we'll be reading from English page 870 and Bengali 941. And let us begin with this mantra. Tavo kathamritam tapta jivanam kavi viriritam kalmushapaham sravanamangalam srimadatam bhubi grinanti e bhurida janaha. Now someone I think in YouTube, he has commented to explain this one. But many a times we have explained particularly this verse. It says that the nectar that you are giving, the words that you are giving, that is also the food for the mind. And that purify our mind. So kalmoshapaham. Kalmosha is the sin. What is the sin? Selfishness is the sin. Understanding this world as permanent is the sin. So when we say the sin, it's a different connotation, it's a different meaning. The sin doesn't mean, of course, that is of course there, the telling the lies or cheating people, hurting people, etc. But at the same time, main spiritual sin is the selfishness. That goes away. Tabo katha amritam. When we listen to your words, tapta jivanam. But to whom? Not to all. You will find the majority of the people, they don't understand. They go to temple. They will fight for religion. Maybe they will kill or will be getting killed in the name of religion. But they do not know what is religion. So that is the peculiar. But even then, this is nothing but transformation. It has nothing to do with the body. It is the complete thought, the mind, that gets changed. How? When we hear the positive words, the good words, the inspiring words, and the truth about the reality, that change our mind. So it is only for those who have realized the futility of this world, for them, the tapta jivanam. And then kavi vidiritam kalmashapaham, etc., etc. And it says that it is a merit that comes as if you are donating hundreds and thousands of acres of land to the people, a lot of money that you are, jewelries that you are donating. So that the merit will come if you listen to these words. So the Gopi Gita, Master Mahasaya, he quoted from here, and very apt. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, whatever he is telling, is almost in every line we get that. And if one can, that's why one should go on reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. In the first reading, one type of meaning. Second reading, another. The more and more and more you are reading the same thing, the depth of the words will come. Now we were reading that the real and the apparent, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is meant. What is the real? That never changes. What is apparent? That gets changes. So obviously, when we take care, the real, the Sat, the never changing thing is the Atman, the consciousness. And all other things, everything is the unreal, so apparent. The real and the apparent. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna talked about that. And why we don't understand that? Because of the confusion. What is that confusion? Maya. Who brought the Maya? Bhagavan, Lord himself. Why? That is his divine sports. Now ultimately, it goes to this, the divine sports. But when we are suffering, we don't like to take it. No? Why we are suffering? And now you say that this is a sport for the God? Why should he worship that God? Who are you? You are also the part and parcel of the God, the same God. The God has divided himself into so many millions and varieties of things. Then he is observing that the one that he has given, those who are having the good qualities, cultivated the good qualities, God given them. And God also kept all the bad qualities, those who chose that, they are suffering. So conflicts are going on. Sura, Asura, that the God and the demons constantly fighting. Where? Within our mind. How? Because of our thought. So if we look in this way, we understand religion means understanding this point and then trying to imbibe all those good qualities that God has kept. And how? Surrendering to God. This is the whole of religion. Religion is realization, but we have to understand there are two aspects of the same God. One, that is eternal aspect, and that is called real, and Sat, and another Asat, another temporary. Now, we should not go for the temporary. That is that decision called mumukshuta, mukti ichha, the desire to be liberated. And then we go for the next. That's for the God. Now, when the children, they see something, fire, anything, they don't understand. They like to go and touch that fire. Maybe they will see that electric wire is going on. They will go try to hold it. If you ask them not to do it, they will do it. Secretly they will go and try to. So that is our nature. Again, God has given that. But those children who listen to the father or the mother, don't touch that, that is dangerous, they will be saved. So this much. Their dangers are there, but the parents are also there. They are advising. Now it is up to you, up to me, up to the individual. So all this thing is nothing but to understand and transform. Well, how is it that the other time I tried to attract Purna but failed? So he was telling about, am I not a religious person that I wanted to ask Purna to come, but how come that I couldn't do that? By this word, he is indicating the karma phala. Each and every individual, they are having their karma phala. Even if the God is giving the call, that individual self cannot come. Maybe he is having many good qualities, but at the same time, for some reason, the thing that he has done in the past, he is not getting complete freedom. He will be afraid of his guardians. He will be afraid of something. He will be attached to, and also the thought like, who is going to take care of my parents if I leave? So that type of thought will bind him in the samsara. Suppose some accident happened, unfortunately, God forbid, but suppose happened, and that young man, he passed away. Who will look after the parents? But we think that without us, who is going to look after? And then we are bound. So kartabhya is there, but at the same time, we are bound. So these are very, very subtle things that we have to understand, and according to our own nature, we will act. So Purna was a very good person, and Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna liked him very much. He wanted that Purna should come and stay with him, and then he will fulfill his spiritual the manifestation. But it was not happening. So the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he is asking, Master Mahashaya, how come? I wanted Purna to come, but he couldn't come. Is it that my fault or his? So this way he is asking, this is the karma phala. Even if the God is calling, we cannot go. We know everything. Even then, somehow we cannot do. There is a saying that in the Mahabharata, Duryodhana said, I don't know, I have not read directly, but it says that Duryodhana said, Janami dharmam nachame pravitti. I know what is the righteousness, I know what is correct, I know what is good, but I don't feel like doing that. Janami adharmam, I know what is bad, nachame nivritti. Pravritti, nivritti. I don't feel attracted to do good work, and I cannot restrain myself, I cannot stop myself doing bad work. What I can do? That is the main problem of the jivas. So what we can do? We can surrender to God. We can pray to God. So this is the tremendous current that you have made. How? Maya. And then Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning that let confusion come, let delusion come. That is the Maya. The Maya makes us confused, deludes us. So by that way, we are all bound. You remember one day we were returning to Dakshinesha in a carriage from Adhar's house when a bottle broke. One of us said to you, does this mean that any harm will befall us? What do you think? You said, Master Maharshya is reminding Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna the incident that happened. And what was his reaction? A bottle somewhere, it broke. The moment they were starting, something happened. Then maybe he's a bad woman. So he was thinking, oh, something bad is going to happen or what. The moment we are starting, this bottle broke. Then he asked Sri Ramakrishna, a reply of Sri Ramakrishna, what do I care? I don't care that. Why should I bother about it? That would be miracle working. There's some people again, they become very weak thinking of the miracle. If someone comes and says, oh, that great man, if he places his hand on your head or pat on your back, all your problem will be solved, you will be cured from all diseases. Hundreds will be in the line to get that touch. And this is the weakness of the human mind, even the educated people. But if you say, why not we attend some wonderful talk that is giving us the enlightenment, and very clearly we can understand what is religion. It's okay. But here, without doing anything, we are getting that miracle and all our things. And if you ask, out of 100, 99 people will say, well, we prayed, he also blessed, she also blessed, but I don't think that it happened. But they are not going to publish it in the paper or propagating again. So obviously, the flow will be there, and by that way, things going on and on. So this miracle is not religion. Whether someone can walk on the air or on the water or can survive without food for months, that is not religion. We have to understand this. That's why the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna is no less than a Veda. This is the knowledge that gives us the clear idea about the spirituality. We have so many confusions are there. Anyone going to write anything about a holy man, he was born and he was this, and then all miracles. He looked at me and then this happened. Somebody will remember, oh, that was happened. Not that it does never, it happens. But that is not spirituality, that is not religion. When you go to a doctor and he could not cure me a particular disease, I go to another doctor and he immediately understands the problem and gives the medicine and I am relieved from that pain. I say, is a miraculous thing that happened. When you go to any temple, suddenly some devotee will ask, Maharaj, when I just offered my pranam, the one flower fell down from Thakur. So, does it mean? I know, of course, it may be something, I do not know. But what you want from Thakur? What do you want from God? The flower has fallen, okay. But what you are thinking that you will get a good job or some money or what? So if that is not happening, record it today, then say, no, it is not like that. For some reason it may be. I don't say that miracle never happens. Of course it can happen. It is nothing but controlling the nature. And these great souls, they have tremendous power to control the nature. Swami Vivekananda once commented that sometimes I feel tremendous power within me, and as if I can completely change the minds of the thousands of people in front of me. As the potter is giving the shape with the mud, I can change that. But I won't do, because everyone should go according to their karma. That is the Prakriti, that is the nature, that's the God's rule. I am not going to disturb that, change that. Of course, power is there. Ma Sharadamani Devi, she also said, karma phala is there. But if you are surrendering yourself at the feet of God, who is the giver of that karma phala, obviously he may reduce the intensity of that. Suppose a bad karma, bad result, but then you are praying and then you are going to God, then God takes, okay. So like that. So no miracle. See, first Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, even a good person having many good qualities, even if he gets the call of God himself, maybe he won't be able to come to God for the fulfillment of his spiritual thing, life, because of his karma phala, first. Second, religion or the spirituality has nothing to do with the miracle. Oh, he has come, and then we line. Whole night they will go and line. And then they will go and get some blessings and something. And I appreciate their faith, but why they are going? To get the physical some problem that cure, then why the doctors are there? Medical practitioners are there. Medical practitioners are also in that line. They're also going expecting maybe this will happen, that will happen. So all this is called Maya. So Vedanta, the Advaita Vedanta says, depend on your karma. Be your own self. Have I done something wrong? Yes, I am going to be suffered. Okay. Now I am cautious that because of that bad karma, I am going to suffer. Okay, I'll suffer. But like the King Parikshit of the Bhagavata, King Parikshit, he was thirsty, he was exhausted, he became angry, and he was asking a Muni, as a holy person who was meditating, a glass of water. But the saint was truly meditating, and he was in samadhi. So obviously he couldn't hear. He was such a nice person. King also knew him. But even then, King became so angry, just to insult, he took a dead snake and threw on his shoulder. And then afterwards the Brahmana, not he himself, his son, he cursed him that he is going to die on the 7th day from today. And it happened. When the information came to the king, king said, okay, of course it should be, because I have done the wrong thing. But no problem, in next life I am going to be all right. So he went on the bank of the Ganga. There's a beautiful story of the Bhagavata. And when he went, then the hundreds of the holy people, the religious people, they all came and sat around to see how this great soul, who was once saved by the Lord Krishna himself, is going to give up the body. Is he afraid of death? Is he going to embrace the death in a happy mood? What is going to happen? So they all came to observe that. That is called Vedanta, not afraid. Only some of the terms we remember and we utter, and then when the original problem comes, then we shudder and we go to Ma Kali, we go to Ma Durga, we go to Krishna Rama. So, Seva, nothing like that. So that is Vedanta is this, complete Advaita Vedanta. But then Dvaita, they said God is there. So what we learned from this only two passages, first, karma phala is very strong. Second, miracle is not spirituality. Now the Bhagavan is coming to this point. In the evening, Sri Ramakrishna was seated on his bed, thinking of the Divine Mother and repeating his hallowed name. This line, from here also we learn how we should spend our time. In the evening there is nothing, so we go and take out some story book and read, and then not like that. And you quietly, suppose you got some time, sit and take the name of God. The devotee sat near him in silence. Why? As because he is taking the name of God, the vibration is also touching their mind, their soul. They are also getting that feeling. Latu, Shashi, Sharat, the younger Naren, Paltu, Bhupati, Girish, and others were present. So these are the devotees, those who are following the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. You know all these names. Ramtharan of the Star Theatre had come with Girish to entertain Sri Ramakrishna with his singing. He was a singer. A few minutes later, Dr. Sharkar arrived. This chapter, whole chapter, the conversation between Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and Dr. Sharkar. Doctor to the master, to this Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, I was much worried about you last night. At 3 o'clock, it was raining. I said to myself, oh, who knows whether or not the doors and windows of his room are shut? Really? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna asked him. He was much pleased at the doctor's love and the thoughtfulness for him. If we love God, God also loves us. Look the transformation of this person in the same chapter. When we began, what was that? The doctor was sarcastically, he was putting the words, oh, you people are actually making this person God. He's an ordinary person. And somehow you are coming and touching his feet and then doing this, that. Why? That's a good person. He takes the name of God. That's a good person, that much. And the same person is constantly transforming, and then ultimately he developed love for God, concern for God. And that is called the devotee's ultimate condition. When the devotee feel, oh my God, I have eaten today, but I didn't give the food to my God. I'm supposed to give the food. Before leaving, most of the sadhus you will find, they will run to the temple, they will offer pranam as if saying goodbye to the Thakur. Thakur is everywhere. God is everywhere. But even then, in the shrine, in the temple, as the God is there, the moment they will enter into that ashrama or the building, they will say, let us go to. So that is the way one should always develop the connection with God. Somebody who is a highly respected person, he is in that house, I go, I don't meet him. Why? First thing we should do that. Almost every Hindu household, they are having a shrine in their house. So when a religious person is going, he should go and first see that, and then he will chit-chat with the other people. When leaving, also remember God and paying. So this is the way. Here the doctor, he got up in the night at 3 o'clock, and then he was thinking, what will happen if the doors and windows are open? Because Ramakrishna, he was not in a physical condition to go and shut himself. So the cold breeze will come, and he's naturally, as a doctor, he was feeling worried about him. But Sri Ramakrishna took it in this way. It is the devotee who is loving God. He was the God himself. So obviously, he is liking it very much. Really, said Sri Ramakrishna. As long as there is the body, now Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, he went on telling the doctor, when I will be cured, please give me some medicine, I should be all right. So he was going on talking like that. Now the same person is now telling that doctor, what he said? As long as there is the body, one should take care of it. We should not ignore it. Sometimes some sadhus, they are walking on the barefoot and not taking care of the feet and not cleaning it properly and slowly get disease and then suffer. It is of no use. The one of our monks used to say, look, you have come here to serve, not to be served. When we came, that was you have come here to serve, not to be served. Oh, I am not feeling well. Oh, give me medicine. Oh, this and that. Go back. You have come here to serve. Body should be strong. Mind should be clear. Then only you are an instrument in the hands of God to serve the living gods and goddesses. That is the philosophy of the Ramakrishna mission. So in the beginning, when they will accept a young man, we have the monastics, the males, the monks. So obviously, you have to fill up a form, and there you have to add a certificate from the doctor that you are physically, mentally, completely fit, as if you are joining an army force, so that in the military force. So like that. Then you are giving that certificate. Then from the authority, from the Belur Math itself, they will, from their doctor, they will ask, they will check, and then they will see that whether the certificate that you have given is okay or not. Otherwise, they won't take you. You are going to serve, not to be served. But sometimes we forget. We go on asking for, oh, I cannot drink this type of water, I need mineral water, I need that water. I cannot eat this, I need that. Very costly things you are going on asking, and you are spending so much of money from the ashrama. Or what that money? The devotees have given to serve God for the holy causes. Do you think you are just taking the money, spending that money because it is in the ashrama, and you did not to pay any account, you show any account for that? No. God is there, sitting over there. You have utilized so much of money, and in return, what you have given back? Have you prayed for the devotees? They gave their hard-earned money. As a monk, have you prayed for them? Have you said, God, because of them only we are all surviving? And you are sending money through them, and I am utilizing to save my body, but in return I pray to you, if I have anything good in me, please give it to them. Please give them blessings. Yes, that is called a monkhood. It is not so easy. It is all subtle way. I learned it from a very senior monk. He took me to a devotee's house. I was a brahmachari. And from Calcutta, Advaita Ashram, I went, and they asked me to give a talk, so I went to Murshidabad. It's I don't know, maybe 300 miles from Calcutta, 300 kilometers maybe from Calcutta. And that senior Swami was also there. And one devotee invited us for some lunch or breakfast, I've forgotten. So after the food, when I was coming out, then he asked me, they fed you so much, they gave you pranami, they gave you gift of a pen and some books. In return, what you have given to them? Then I was new, so I was thinking, oh, I should have brought something for them. And the Swamiji, I never knew. I would have, no, no, no. They don't need all those things. They can purchase themselves. But what you have given after taking all the food and this respect, then he said, prayer, prayer, prayer. Before leaving that devotee's house, the householder's house, you must pray for them. These are traditional teaching of the monkhood. The holy person, when he is entering, he should pray to God. God, they have invited me. Please protect them. And when leaving, again pray to God. And sincerely, genuinely, with great faith. So that is called the monkhood. Apparently nothing, but internally, this is transforming you. How it is transforming? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, this body to be cared, of course, as long as body consciousness is there. As long as there is the body, one should take care of it. Then he said, and that is the ultimate of the spiritual life. But I find the body is quite separate from the self. The Swami, the Sri Ramakrishna, who was asking the doctor, when you are going to cure me, I'm suffering, and ask almost everyone, whoever is visiting is asking like that. But people may, after reading that, they may think, what is it? Why he is so much careful about his body? What type of monk is he? But look at it. The body you should take care, but Sri Ramakrishna said, I find that the body is quite separate from the self. Then he said, when you can feel that, realize that, when a man rids himself entirely of his love for lust and gold, then he clearly perceives that the body is one thing and the self another. It won't come that easy. Only those people who are completely free from any desire, and the base of desire is the ego, and ego is body and mind associated, and obviously mainly it goes for desire the last. So that is way one, if you can, and if you have the desire, to fulfill the desire you need money, you need wealth. So it is connected. When you are completely free, then no desire. That prajohati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogatan. When the Parth, that is the Arjuna, was asking Sri Krishna in the second chapter, almost in the last, when he was asking, you have described about the holy life, and how I will know seeing a person that is holy? Very practical question. In reply, Bhagavan said, prajohati, prajahati. Jahati means giving up. Prakrishta rupena, completely. Completely given up. Prajahati. Prajahati yada. When? Kaman, desires. Sarvan, all types of desires. Manogatan, from the mind. O Partha. So this is called first thing. If you have any desire, then you cannot realize God. But it's not that we'll never be able to be in that condition. Of course we will go. By practicing, 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 I will be perfect. And one day, of course, with the grace of God, we will reach to that. Because that is the ultimate and that is the natural. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, I see it is completely different. Then here, when I found that, this is, the Vedanta says the self is covered by 5 kosha, the sits. They are different kosha, different cover. Five. What are the five? First is Annamaya. That is the gross body, depends on food and drink. Then Manomaya. It is also associated with the body, but not that much. It is subtle. Then Pranamaya. That is the vital force, the prana, the shwasa, prashasa, etc. that we take. Then Vijnanamaya. This is the knowledge part, why we are doing it. And then Anandamaya. These are the five covers, stage. And Panchakosha Bilakshana Atma. When one can go beyond these five states, then only we can see the Atma. So the Hinduism, that is very, very theoretical and also practical. First they will explain and then they will say this is possible through this way. There is a problem, we know the problem, but you don't know the solution. It is of no use then. So you must have the solution, and not only that, who is going to do it and how he is going to do it. Everything should be presented. Then only it is complete. So he says the Annamaya, the first, this is the body, and this body needs everything. We need home, we need clothing, we need the food, we need all that. And after that, we have a mind. Then we need some songs, we need poems, we need friends, we need discussions. The mind is a very, very subtle. And because of the mind, we suffer or we enjoy. So obviously, we have to be very, very careful about the mind also. When we talk about the food, we think mostly of the physical food, what we are eating, whether this you are eating or that you are eating. Some people, they completely, they are in that only. That's why Swami Vivekananda sarcastically mentioned, do you think you have religion? Your religion is in the kitchen. What you are cooking, how you are eating, which day what you are eating, all these details you are constantly thinking. This is a very wrong thing. Whatever by which you like and you sustain, that is your food. That's why food differs. There is nothing to do with this. Then comes the mind. This is the main thing. Whatever we are thinking, and where from the thought comes? Thought comes from object that we see. That gives me the thought. Words that we hear, that gives me the thought. Things that we touch, that gives me the thought. By that, five things. Pancha, jnana, that our the instruments that goes out and brings back information to the mind. And that is the mind. Then the vital force is there. We don't know, but without that we will die. The one gentleman, he went for some treatment, and then after the treatment, the doctor said, now you're cured, you can go. And it is all free because the government hospital, everything is free. But only you have to pay for the 5 cylinders of oxygen that we had to purchase from outside to give you. And each and every cylinder is $500. He said, my God, only 5 the cylinders, it's so much of money that I have to pay. And think about the whole life I am going on, taking the oxygen and surviving in that way. How much I have to pay to God then? Yes, we forget that the God has given us so much. And when we have to pay for that particular thing, then we are scared. So that is called pranamaya. Prana means the vital force. And again, that is divided into 5 because of the different type of actions of the same force. Then come Vijnanamaya. If the head is not analyzing, then it is of no use. That is why the goddess Kali wearing the skull, the garland. It is a garland of the human skull. Why? Head. Why? the symbol of intellect. And that intellect means we can discriminate, we can judge, we can analyze, we can accept a thing or reject a thing. That is the very special power that the nature has given to us, God has given to us. But if we don't analyze that, whatever we read in the newspaper, we are carried out with that. Whatever people are feeding us, then we are carried out with that. Majority of the people, they go into that way. That's called Gaddalika Pravaha. In the Sanskrit, they say, majority of the people, they go according to the thing that is going on, they go in that without any judgment or anything. Because most of the people, they don't have that capacity. What is the Gaddalika? That if you take what's called the ram, and then all they will follow. So that is why you have to be careful, and you have to say, why these people are talking like this? Is it true or not? At least let me see what is happening. That is called a human brain. Not that somebody say that immediately. There's in our childhood days, we used to read some poems. The majority of the people, they go according to some announcements and some things that is going on in the society. So someone told another person, hey, be careful, that crow is carrying your ear. Instead of touching his own ear, immediately believed that the crow has taken my ear and then flying. So he chased that crow. Another person stopped him and said, hey, why don't you touch your ear and see whether it's there or not? How you heard that word? He said that the crow has taken your ear and you were running with the crow. Why don't you think I heard? That means the ear is there. And touch is only little thing that you have to do and to get yourself confirmed. No, he is telling the lies. The majority of the people, they run hearing this type of thing. And that's why so much of confusion, chaos in the society. And that the media nowadays, they should be very, very responsible, but whatever, it goes according to the time. The media, this is the thing that they should give it to the people. So these are all goes on for the Vijnanamaya. That's the knowledge. Then comes the Anandamaya. And that is the best thing. All of us, we like to go for Ananda. And Nirananda, Ananda, Nirananda, negative. The joy and happiness and unhappiness. This Nirananda, no one wants. Everyone wants Ananda. But that is also not the human goal. What is that human goal? To know thyself. Atmanam viddhi. In Sanskrit they say, know thyself. And what is that? Beyond that Ananda, there's a source of Ananda. Beyond that happiness, there is a source of happiness. And that is called the self. That is called the Atman. That is called the Brahman. That is called all-pervasive, eternal consciousness. So that Pancha Kosha Bilakshana Atma, Pancha, 5, Kosha, that sits. Bilakshana, overcome that, go by one after another. Then finally, when you leave those 5 and jump for the 6th one, that is the ultimate Atman. The body is the vehicle that helps us to reach to that self. Then Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he said, as long as there is the body, one should take care of it. But I find that the body is quite separate from the self. This knowledge is called realization. This is called religion. According to Swami Vivekananda, religion is realization. What is that realization? There are 2 things. One, the body-mind complex. Another, the self. Apparently, these 3 are associated. The body, mind, and the consciousness, these are all 3. That is my personality, that is me. But no. This body and mind is separate, and the self is separate. And the body, it is made of Again, the five Mahabhuta matter. Bhuta means matter. What are the five Pancha Mahabhuta? Maha means great. Just to impress, they say Mahabhuta. Of course, that the subtle thing is there and the gross also there. Now, what are those things? Shiti, earth. Apa, that's the water. Tveja, the fire. Maruta, the air. And the Boma, the space. Now, any scientist will say that's true. Because in the body, human body, any beings, the body, made of these five elements. Now called Bhuta. Now these five elements is making this body. And in that we have the mind also. But self Atma is a Swayam Srishta. But no, it is not Srishta. If we use the word Srishta, Swayam is his own, Srishta, created, that is also wrong. It is not Srishta, it is eternal. We do not know when this was created. Who created the self? No, no one created the self. One should not ask this question at all, because this is not a question at all. Because that was there eternally. That is the realization. Something which is there eternally unchanged. But lo, from that unchanged one, we see so many changes. And here the philosophers, they come to solve the problem. The philosophers, they say, well, of course from there a complete change has come. Like from the milk, yogurt. And that is the complete permanent change. But the another will say, Shankaracharya, he said, no, that cannot be. If that was the real case, if we were completely, the creation was completely changed from the original, there is no question of going back to that source. So obviously it cannot be. Then what? Then say it is the reflection. Like the sun reflecting on the water, and you see the sun, and you see varieties of sun in many millions of the containers. As many containers containing the water, everywhere the reflection of the same sun. So does it mean there's so many millions of suns? Of course, yes, apparently, but in reality it is not. This much is the ultimate knowledge. Real is always there, and the real is reflecting on us, and just because of that we are thinking I. The I, that ego, is nothing but the reflection of the consciousness on our buddhi. That's the Vedanta says like that. And when the ego comes, we get ourselves separated from the original. If the ego is not there, then we are the same. So this way, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, it was completely different. Eternal, Chirantan, never decay, Akshaya, all-pervading, Sarva-vyapi, consciousness, Chaitanya. So that is called the Brahman. That is called the Self, the Paramatma, Atma. And then that is also Bhagavan. Why Bhagavan? Because some people, they cannot go to that understanding. So in between, the rishis, just to help the ordinary people, they said it is Bhagavan, the one who has these qualities. The moment there is a quality, we can understand. He is good, he is bad, he is compassionate, he is very strict, a very well-disciplined person. These qualities we can understand. As because we can understand that, they gave us this, well, now you better try to understand this thing, and these qualities, there will be good and bad, and these qualities had come from the same source, and then he himself is coming down as if, and taking a human form, living among us, giving the example in his own life and guiding us towards the right path. That is called avatarvada. Avatar means incarnation. And this incarnation is guiding us. How? He said that don't get involved with the worldly things. As long as you are living there, live like a tourist. Mono chalo nijo niketane. Samsara videshe, bideshir veshe, brahmo kano akarane. That is the song Swami Vivekananda sang. That is the first song Vivekananda sang in Calcutta in someone's house. Ram Dattwada's doctor was there. I think in his house, he sang before Sri Ramakrishna. The meaning, oh my mind, why you are wandering in this, the foreign land, and like a foreigner, like a tourist, go back to your own abode. And what is that own abode? Knowledge. What is that knowledge? I am that self. The Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is telling, when a man rids himself entirely of his love for lust and gold, then he clearly perceives that the body is one thing and the self another. When the milk inside the coconut, he gives a beautiful, wonderful example. And he said, when the milk in the coconut, inside the coconut, is all dried up, then the kernel becomes separated from the shell. Those who go to market, they will understand it. Those who purchase things, they will understand, particularly coconut. If you don't purchase coconut, you won't understand. There are varieties. There's a green coconut, and there's a shell is there, the green shell. Then inside there's a hard shell. Then the kernel is there, and the liquid water is there. But when it goes on ripening, slowly the above one becomes dry, and inside, of course, that hard one it leaves, and the kernel becomes thicker. Inside the water becomes the juice as a milk inside that kernel. There is no water at all. That water is absorbed in that main thing. Then you break and you can just shake, you can find that the outer shell and inside that kernel are separated. In the beginning, it was same. You could not hear anything. In the beginning, the green coconut, if you shake, you won't hear anything, no separation. In the beginning, our mind, it is attached with the worldly things. There is no separation. We cannot understand. We cannot think of, oh, Swamiji, I cannot think of giving up my grandchildren. And now I can think that my children are gone. They are not taking care of me. Okay, I can. But the grandchildren, no, I cannot. Because their faces are constantly before me. How? Because you think they are own. Those faces, they are my own. You are thinking and getting attached. And more you are getting attached. And then ultimately suffering. So this goes on this way because they will grow up and they will go in their own way. And obviously there is not much time for them. They will say hello, that much. But you are not satisfied. You want to see them as they used to come and jump on your lap and they used to play with you. Those days are gone. So obviously these are all the memories. And sometimes it is suffering, sometimes it is happy. So after the marriage, things goes on, and then unfortunately, again, God forbid, if the one of these two couple is dead, then become alone. Look at it, you were alone before. And at the end also you are alone. But that is a terrible loneliness, terrible loneliness. Why in between we get so much attached? But if you are analyzing, well, God gave me so many years, we were happy. Now a few years are left for me. Okay. I'll remember at those things, but now my final journey to the original thing. What is that original? Eternal thing that never changes. I will go to God, the source of happiness. So that is the beginning of the spiritual life. When you can understand this constantly changing situation of this world and take a resolution that I am going to change my lifestyle and I am going to follow this path, that is called spiritual life. So he is mentioning in this way, then you, the kernel, will be separated from the body. Ultimately, you will be God yourself. Therefore, I cannot speak much to the Divine Mother about the illness of the body. Therefore, I cannot speak much to the Divine Mother about the illness of the body. About the illness of the body, then naturally the devotees, they used to always request, why don't you go and pray to your mother? For everything, he used to run to the mother. When his guru came, the Tota Puri, and he said, hey boy, I liked you, I will give you the initiation. He said, wait, let me talk to mother. He immediately ran. And then he got, and then he was 30, 35 years old that time. Then he went to the mother. Mother means the goddess Kali. And apparently all other people, they were thinking, this is all stone image, same image that we see there in the Dakshineshwar. That is the image Sri Ramakrishna saw living, talking with him. And he is asking, Mother, that man was telling this, what shall I do? Mother said, I brought him here for you. Go and learn what he teaches. And he came back and told, Mother gave me the permission. And now teach me what you like to teach. So this is called the fulfillment of spiritual life. Each and every one we can reach there. But for that, one thing we have to give up. What is that? Something you have to give up to get something, isn't it? That if we go on playing and if we go on enjoying the movies, if we go on spending time with the friends, and at the same time I like to be the first in the class in my exam, no, it is not possible. So you have to give up those things and then concentrate in study, you will become fast. You will be very successful in your class, in your exam. Something you have to give up. And to realize God, you have to give up what? This world. Thank you, friends, and we will study from here in the next day, next Wednesday. Oh, yeah.
So the first question is from the user SM. He's asking, since we are the one consciousness that has no karma, qualities, form, etc., then how is karma attached to the consciousness giving us birth and making us perform further karma according to past karma?
Then, if you realize that you are the self, you are the Atman, you are completely free, then there is no karma. If you are not, then only all these things are coming. And why the karma, that theory has been given? Because it has been forwarded only to explain why a person is suffering and another person is not suffering. Why a person right from the birth, maybe two souls, so right that same moment they were born, and one in a very rich families and another in a very poor family. Is it accident? Why that soul, unfortunate soul, choose the parents, those who are very poor? We say, oh, poor parents will also get the children. Of course. But why that particular soul who is going and taking birth and getting suffering right from his birth? Accident? No. There must be cause and effect. Everything that happens, there is a cause, then the effect comes. The effect of suffering, cause. If you are thinking yourself as a body, but if you realize that I am the self, then as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, the body and the self is completely separate. Then you will realize, no karma phala that time. Thank you.
Nikhil Sinde is asking, Swamiji, since we have three bodies, physical body, subtle body, and casual body, can you please explain what is casual body?
Casual is the cause, the karma phala. Casual means cause. The causal body, that the cause. What is the cause? Desire. And that is why this. So whatever the desire I was having to fulfill those desires, I took a birth in such a family that I got the opportunity to fulfill those desires. You got the body to fulfill your desires. That is called causal body. Thank you.
Kirti is asking, whose ego is reflecting on the external Atman, giving the mind? Whose karma, whose mind?
No. That is actually when you associate with the body, and in that body there is the mind, and in that mind there are four parts are there, sections are there. One is called buddhi, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahamkara. This buddhi, that on that Shankaracharya says the reflection of the consciousness is there, and because of that reflection we think this is me, this is I. So that only. So if you have that association with the body, friends, we have to understand, as long as I consciousness is there associated with the body and mind, then the karma phala, and it goes on. When we can disassociate with this body and mind, no karma phala, no birth, only joy and happiness. Thank you.
Devjanidhar is asking, self that is inside me, same self is pervading everywhere. Then why each person is different from other? Please help.
So, one very good question. That is why the answer that the great philosopher Shankaracharya has given, and we say again and again, that is the perfect answer. If the same self is present everywhere, if someone is suffering, then everyone will suffer. And it is not. Then how it is? They say it is a reflection. And again, many a times we have given this example. You keep the tumbler full of water, maybe 15, and the reflection of the sun 15, and you break one tumbler, 14. The other 14 is not affected by this because it is a reflected one. Nothing is happening to the original. Similarly, we feel that is the same sun in me, that is the consciousness, and in her, in him, everything separate because of the reflection, not original. That's why, though it is working like the original, but it is not original. Now the moon is giving the light, but it is not its original light. And I give that example that if you have a piece of the glass, maybe the very bright, and then it will be reflected, reflecting the sun's light, you can reflect that sunlight and lighten a dark place. Or maybe if you are concentrating on a paper, you can burn fire, you can start fire. And it warms the water. All effects are there. But at the same time, it is only reflected. Thank you. Okay, friends, very good questions. And I appreciate that you are really thinking deeply. The Atman, the consciousness, it is present, but in a reflected way within us. And by mistake, we are associating that as I. And this I call ego. But in reality, ego is not there anywhere. When you understand this much, then we are fulfilled in our spiritual life. But to understand that, it's a long process. But by the grace of God, someday we will surely get that, and we'll be blessed like all the free souls. Thank you. Let us chant this mantra and we conclude. Niranjanam नित्यम् अनन्तरूपं भक्तानुकम्पा धृतविग्रहं वै ईशावतारं परमेशमीड्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीरामकृष्ण अर्पणमस्तु।